Yeah. Swashbuckler. Let's do it. I think I'm going to be a red guard. Yes. I've already played as a red guard female. You know, representation matters. Representation matters, gamers, but we're going to probably play a male. Although that's a hard one. Yeah. I want to talk about the Elder Scrolls 6, okay? The Elder Scrolls 6 needs to be in Hammerfell, okay? The Elder Scrolls 6 needs to be in Hammerfell. And it needs to have a large portion of the map be water. And the game needs to involve ships and pirates, okay? That's not going to be the main focus of the game, but that's going to be an element of the game, is seafaring and ship exploration and ship combat. Because, I don't know, that's just kind of sick to me. I know that's not going to happen, right? I know Elder Scrolls 6 is going to suck because Bethesda sucks, right? But like what I would want the amazing landscape of Hammerfell, have it have weird, unique art direction like Morrowind. And then you can have, a big portion of the map be water, because you've never been able to play as a pirate in the Elder Scrolls, right? And we look at Elder Scrolls Redguard. That's more like coastal sort of seafaring type vibe, But let's do custom class. Swashbuckler. We're probably going to be... We're going to have dodging as our main skill, because we're also going to run with no armor. Because armor is for sissies. Armor's for sissies. No, armor is for people who want to be smart and who want to be protected in combat. We're gonna be a hard ass, or no, we're gonna be weird, and we're gonna run into combat with just clothes, which is a bad idea. But if you're good at dodging, then you don't have to worry. But this is going to be kind of a trickster sort of build. Dodging, long blade. Going to be using sabers and all that. Probably don't need as much strength or intelligence or willpower. Going to put a lot into agility. Don't need endurance really, because we're weakling. Definitely want high personality and speed. And I think we can take points from intelligence there. Put them into speed. Advantages. I think I might cheese it a little bit. Red guards. Let's look at red guards on races redone. Whoops. Red guards. Whoops. What are we doing? Races redone. There we go. I think red guards get like resistance. Yeah, resistant to poison and disease, which is pretty wild. Yeah. And then long blade to hit and damage, level over 3. I kind of wish it was level over 2, because apparently Argonians get short blade level over 2. Which is a little silly. I suppose another kind of fitting race for a pirate type character is Argonian. Yeah. But we're going to be using sabers and long blades. Athleticism. For reduced fatigue regen, although... Yeah, we are going to be using magic a little bit. But I think what we can do, lower magic ability. Whoop. This is basically free disadvantage points, because you can then select increased magery 3 times int. This does mean that you'll have less magicka. So like your top magicka will be 150. But you do get free disadvantage points. And then expertise in Longblade. What kind of magic should we use? We're gonna. I think I'm gonna. There is the dirty trick thing from Penwick Papers, which should allow you to blind enemies, but then if you enable that, enemies can do it against you, which is highly annoying, being blinded, because it literally blinds you. And I don't think magic immunity actually affects that, which is a little annoying. What can you do? Spell absorption. I suppose, yeah, what we probably should do here is, instead of this, we can use increased magery 2 times int. That's better. It's a bit more balanced. Although, yeah, if I have it be 2 times int, that means I'm not going to be able to teleport until much later on, I suppose, but that's okay. You can kind of play as a pirate in Daggerfall, not really, but you have the Warm Ashes High Seas mod, which adds ship encounters. I don't know how to affect that, but it's mainly like you have a crew on your ship or whatever, and you encounter like orcs or bandits. You know, you don't choose to raid other ships. Yeah, I suppose this character would side with bandits when raiding a farm. But when I think of like a roguish swashbuckler character, I think of like a, you know, a Jack Sparrow, I guess, or like a lovable rogue. That's not like a rude, mean person. I don't know. I've never seen Pirates of the Caribbean. Regenerate. That is kind of helpful. Regenerate in darkness. Could go for critical weakness. Unfortunately, forbidding armor and forbidding things doesn't really count towards disadvantages that much, which is kind of annoying. Forbidden blunt weapon, forbidden axe, whoops, forbidden, I mean, that's not too bad. Forbidden, then what else? Because, yeah, I can use magic to heal. Resistance to... And then red guards get resistance to poison and disease. I don't know if the Longblade expertise stacks with red guards bonus. I would assume it does, because I think the way that bonus works. Daggerfall... expertise. Accuracy and damage. See, I don't know how this shit works. Look at sphincter vision attacks. Expertise. along with, yeah, so the way expertise works in this, and I don't know if this stacks with the red guard bonus. I would assume it does, because it doesn't say expertise in this type of weapon. It says blunt to hit and damage plus, or, you know, long blade to hit and damage plus level divided by 3. You know? I get why they didn't get long blade level divided by 2, because, yeah, long blades tend to be the best weapons in the game. But yeah, they're the only race that gets the long blade, that good of a long blade bonus. Yeah, this is gonna be a long blade having swashbuckler. Long blade swinging dude. We could maybe get rid of athleticism. Oh yeah, that's actually really good, because that does mean that we'll expend more fatigue, but we'll have to use our spells to restore it, which is okay. Yeah, that's really good. Can't use blunts or axes. Lower magic ability, but still increased magery. So that's a little bit of a cheese, a little bit of a cheat that you can do with the character creator. That's a little goofy, but it means that you can essentially get free disadvantage points, because you still have more magicka than normal. This effectively turns into 1 times hit and spell points, but then you get more. I don't know. It's a little hard to explain, but you get what I'm saying. So yeah, look at this. Without any of these, I'm up here with the dagger. I'll get increased magery 2 times int, which means you'd have a max magicka of 200. Now with the lower darkness powered magery, lower magic ability, I actually don't even think it's halved magicka too. Yeah. I think it's like 2/3, or no, you get 2/3 magicka. So yeah, we'll stick with this. So that lowers it a little bit, and then lower magic ability in darkness. So yeah, I think I remember testing that on the Nightblade, and she didn't even get like, it wasn't lowered by half, it was more lowered by 1/3 or something. So yeah, this is basically free magicka and free disadvantage points. So it's a little unbalanced, but I'm okay with it, because it's like I would say it's for hybrid magic users and melee users. For pure mages, you're going to go with probably 3 times int. And then for no mages, you'd go for maybe not even this, and unable to use magic or lower. I don't like not being able to cast spells. You know, that it's a real challenge playing that. I tried to with the orc character, but it just got too annoying to move around the world in wintertime. You know, maybe if I'm playing a Nord barbarian type character, I can do a no magic. Yeah, I think if I'm going back to the Wildman character, I would make it non-magical. But at the same time, I want to be able to heal and get fatigue back. You know, like not being able. I think, yeah, it was okay with that, because I made the spells, you know, barbarian themed. So it's like he's going second wind and all that. Anyway. So a swashbuckler. Is he using Streetwise? Streetwise or... I think backstabbing would be kind of a fun primary. Critical strike. We already have high speed. Oh, sneeze incoming, dude. Major skills. I think if we're using archery, it would be crossbows, just because they're kind of cooler. You know, bows are like weakling weapons. Crossbows are where it's at. They're just way cooler. But yeah, in the Tome of Battle Addendum mod, the mod that adds spears, they're cannon under Longblade, which I'm kind of okay with, but it does make sense having a separate polearm skill, you know? But having spears be under blunt weapons would be kind of weird. Hey. Critical strike. I think we can have stealth. Or no, we need to select a magic skill. I think the Swashbuckler will use some illusion magic to deal with human enemies better. But again, they'll probably try and actually use those dirty tricks, but I don't really use them very often. I'd have to, like, look into that more. Critical strike. Jumping. We do, like, yeah, it's really kind of hard to play the game without joining the Mages Guild. Because you need to be able to make spells, man. I wish there was some other way to make spells. If I am selecting one, it'll probably be illusion. But I think if you just select it as a major, you get like light or something lame. Dodging long blade. Illusion, maybe? Nah. Critical strike. Running illusion. And what's our miner's stealth? Stealth. We have maybe hand to hand at the back here. Streetwise. Etiquette. And what else here? Lockpicking would be a good one. Maybe short blade. I think lockpicking and pickpocket would be kind of fun. But yeah, pickpocket is a really shitty skill, although I think it might have more usage with the different mods. Like, I think if you have a higher pickpocket, you can more easily steal from shops and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. We have a high enough personality. Lockpicking. Like, I think this character can also use open, but that's mysticism. Mysticism. Yeah, we're not very good at sneaking. Etiquette streetwise. I think that's cool. Yeah, that's fine. Swashbuckler. Edit reputations. We're loved by the underworld. Hated by nobility. Disliked by scholars. I suppose the peasants wouldn't like us either. Hated by merchants. Loved by peasants. I think maybe peasants would like me because it's just funnier that way. -5. Yeah. Merchants are the ones I steal the most from, I suppose. That's good. There we go. Choose your character's career path. You have a certain degree of training with... we can't use blunt weapons or axes. I'll pick archery, just in case. Yeah. What thieving skill have you been studying the longest? Stealth. What motivates you into a life of adventure? Riches. Riches. Your preferred criminal method is... Let me look this up. Come on. Background, question, and history fixes. Preferred criminal method. Swindling. Probably. Given your choice of reward, you would most likely choose... What's the most valuable? The most valuable thing here is an ebony dagger, probably. Yeah, we'll choose ebony dagger this time, since we're kind of a roguish character. One of the most important survival skills you picked up was... to haggle with merchants. You were an active child. Sneakier than anyone else your age. You can get most of the things you want by stealing from diversified merchants, of course. The one skill you cannot work without must be stealthy movement. As a child, your nickname was... Scrapper's hand-to-hand, obviously. Guppy is swimming. Quicksilver's running. Monkey, I think, is jumping. No, Rabbit's jumping, and then Monkey is climbing. I'll get Guppy. Yeah, that's the most fitting. What god, if any, do you worship? That's a tough one. See, I would probably be commerce, since I'm like a really money-grubbing sort of character. But, I feel like a pirate would really like the open sea. Yeah, God of Commerce is probably like... It's probably more legitimate commerce, like working hard and toiling and stuff. So we're gonna pick Kinnereth. That doesn't really make sense for a red guard either. I'm gonna say none. Your frail health as a child has made you... Ooh, that's not good. We're gonna pick less resistant to disease. Name thyself. Oh god, who came up with a name? What's my swashbuckler name? Jiff. Why not? I like that one, yeah. The one with the earring. Either that or that one. I'll pick this one. Until we have 14. Ay, ay, ay. Whoop. I don't really know what the best way of rolling is. I just want every stat to be an even 5. No. This doesn't always work. I get why they do stuff like this, because it's supposed to emulate D&D, right? But I don't know if I really like rolling for stats in a fucking video game. They don't even do that in D&D anymore, because they realize how fucking overpowered that is, being able to re-roll and get the highest possible stats. Oh, here we go. That's even. We'll save that. That's pretty good, actually. Okay, we need dodging to be at the top there. We're freaking raring to go. Need illusion there. Yeah, you need a minimum... you need a magic skill to be a minimum of 22 in order to enter the Mages Guild. Good, good. Kind of excited for the Swashbuckler character. So the goal for this is to advance in the Thieves Guild, possibly even the Dark Brotherhood. I don't know if Jeff is the best name, but actually, yeah, Harcourt or I don't know what the Red Guard names are supposed to be like. I don't really pay attention to lore that much when naming my characters. I kind of like the name Jeff. My name's Jeff, but spelt weirdly. I think that's like the Scottish spelling of it or something. Anyway. Hold on. Hold on there. What up? I'm back. Okay. We're playing Jeff the Swashbuckler. I don't know if that's the right name. I think you can change your character's name. But that's all I got. That's all I got right now. So here we are. I do, if I want to play the intro cutscene. I think we've already seen it like 100 times, so we can skip it. 400 years after blah 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 blah. Excuse the gloom, yes. 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 Will this character be a vampire? No. 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 Receive a Thieves Guild invitation. In order to get an invitation from the Thieves Guild, I think you have to pickpocket a bunch of people. Let me see. Daggerfall Thieves Guild. We're playing a swashbuckler. How do you join? Quests. The qualifying examinations. After about 3 days after you successfully pickpocket 10 civilians or enemies, or pick a certain number of locks. I think that means like picking locks in houses, right? There was I think there was a mod called Breaking and Entering, which actually adds trinkets and stuff to people's houses. But I think that was just too weird because it added like a quest every time you entered into a town. So that was, yeah. I think just so I can start that stuff right away, I'm gonna hit yes. Receive a Dark Brother invitation. No. All right. Do you want to start the main quest? Yeah, just for extra stuff to do. You smell wood smoke. Perhaps next time. You will receive a letter soon. No. You wake and look around the room. Some hours ago you were in a boat, en route to Daggerfall, when a storm of supernatural strength boiled over the Iliac Bay like a malefic creature. Your boat was destroyed, but you managed to swim through the churning water to a promontory rock. There you found a cave and escaped the fury of the storm. You had only just lit a small fire when a mudslide sealed you within. Your fear of being buried alive calmed when you saw the corridor leading out of the cavern. Perhaps there is a way out of this cave after all. Once free of the cave, you can begin the Emperor's quest. I like having the main quest. That is kind of fun for like role-playing reasons. If you just want to play a specific character with a specific goal in mind, you can avoid it, but I like having the option there. The cold is seeping into your bones. You should make camp and dry off. Awesome. Dude, we got a sexy shirt on. I think I am going to have a vest going there just for some exciting color. We don't need, well, maybe we do need that, I don't know. Torque. We are going to have to roll with this gear. Do I need a bow right now? Sure. I'm going to have to deal with this broadsword. Actually, yeah, that looks awesome. I guess we can do that, yeah. Cool. And then we're good. We are golden, gamers. Swashbuckler. Yes. Let's move. Let's use a torch, because we got some. But yeah, the mini-map is kind of dark. Oh. Got a lot of rats here. Yeah. Okay, we have... And we only have candle, which is annoying. We're gonna have to rest through this dungeon. We'll have to make do with eating rats, unfortunately. We have very high aspirations on this character. We wanna own a ship, probably own a house. Not through legitimate means. We're gonna be a swashbuckler. I do want to try and loot this chest here. We fail to pick the lock. I'm quite wet. Wait, what's happening? What? That takes fatigue? Wow, that is extraordinarily annoying. Yeah, we're just gonna reload that one. We'll pick it once we're ready. Backstabbing. Currently it renders the blood on the minimap too, which is pretty wild. See if we can actually land any backstabs here. Yeah! Awesome. I would like to level my backstabbing, but illusion. Right, we might as well just cast this a few times. Failed to pick the lock. We did not pick athleticism. Rest for a while. Fantastic. We'll go for intelligence. It's actually okay that we're not leveling backstabbing, because we do need dodging to be at least 5 levels ahead of the other ones. Let's try for this chest again. What's my lockpicking? 16, so it's not super high. Looks like you jammed the lock. Man, fucking tastic. Due to bad luck. So it must be set once the chest spawns. I'm guessing. I'm kind of okay with that, because then you don't have to worry about saves coming. The fact that it takes that much fatigue is really annoying. Okay, fuck you. Guess that counts as a death. That's just fantastic. Why does that take so much fatigue, bro? Dude, this fucking locked containers mod is really annoying. Oh, shit. Okay, so that time it didn't happen. Which is odd. I guess that improves with your skill or whatever. Alright, let's try and sneak around. Shit. You're not getting me, impadoo. We cannot wear any armor. Unfortunately, it looks like the minimap mod is really kind of restricted with light. I'm okay with that, actually. I tested that out a little bit. Your stomach rumbles. That means we're ready to eat. It is kind of possible to run around enemies and get a backstab, but I think you have to be pretty fast to do that. Sorry, lass. Champion straps. Yeah, there we go. Lantern, great. Now we can go ahead and fill up my lantern and use it. I maybe should have taken light armor, but Swashbuckler should be all about being flashy and more, you know, having flashy clothes. And armor almost always goes over your clothes. So there's that. Silver short bow. I can't use axes. Yep, can't use axes. Oh, that is really cool. It shows you the level. Yeah, the minimap mod is awesome. Ooh. All right. Ran behind him. I could maybe set up camp here. Wouldn't be a terrible idea. This is kind of a good place to set up camp, actually. Can I rest? Perfect. We won't pack it up. I like this outfit better. This one's kind of like... This one's more colorful. We'll prioritize color. Um... I believe backstab is actually backstabbing out of 100 chance to get a successful backstab. Just a little confusing, but... Nice, we got a... That's a shirt that I like. What are we rolling with? Yep. Longbow or short sword? See, a short sword isn't bad because it's pretty much going to look the same as that. I suppose we can use short swords. What you really need is a saber. God, there's so many of them. Okay. Shouldn't forget to loot this stuff, even though there's usually nothing in here. When we get out of here, we'll make spells right away. Okay. Running needs to go up. And lockpicking. Oh yeah, we could go check out that chest, but don't know if that'll go anywhere. We won't save's coming. Jam the lock. That's okay. Yes. Moving on. A lot of blood. Green ghost. Daikatana. Yeah, we're not really a two-handed blade user. It does have a lot of damage potential though, so I suppose. It does have different sounds. Need to heal. Holy shit. Dodging. Whew. Okay. Short blade. Get me out of here. Elven Spear. Yeah, I don't really see this character as a spear user, because I don't think of spears when I think of pirates, but spears are awesome in this, so can maybe use it if I'm fighting real tough enemies. Ready to go. Level 3. Yeah, we need to shore up the intelligence. Holy fuck. Are you kidding me? Yeah, we don't have magic resist or anything. When was my last save? Oh shit, yeah, we're gonna get... We have, this. You regain consciousness after some time. Oh no. The cold air numbs your bare skin. What? Can we, fight? Okay, we're gonna need... I think you get your gear back when you leave the dungeon. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. Cold air numbs your bare skin. Yeah, I don't like the constant fatigue damage. Okay. Cook. I'll have to pack this. Yeah, let's just leave. Oh my god, with your magic. I think I have it set to no cooldown. Completely exhausted. You regain consciousness. Am I dead? Yes. Okay. Intelligence. Yeah, it's because I don't have immunity to magic. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. Great, there's a thingamadoo there. Chameleon form. Does not unlock. Fuck you and your fatigue drain on your stupid lockpicking. I suppose it's like, oh, it takes time to pick. Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, we'll go until our lockpicking increases. And we don't have high enough stealth to... Yeah, I'm gonna have to be careful around magic users because I don't have immunity to magic on this character. I do have resistance to disease, though. Hey, thank you. Awesome. Getting impaled him through the back. Gotcha. Unfortunately, there might be... Like, there's a mod called Thieves Guild Pimps and Pushers that I think adds some drug dealing related quests to the Thieves Guild. I believe carrying drugs or something is actually a crime in the vanilla game. Don't quote me, but it would make sense for a pirate to have like, oh, he's dealing drugs or he's dealing rum, stuff like that, but the mechanics aren't really there, so we're not, and they're not really that valuable, so we're not going to bother carrying them around. This is a money-seeking character. We're not going to do something that's not going to give me money. So that's just for selling, because we can't even wear armor. Whoops. Katana. I will use that. Definitely. Yeah, magic users are gonna fuck me. Long blades ready. At least for the first dungeon. Because I don't have... Whoops. Yeah. I don't... Nice! Elven longsword. Don't need that. Yeah, Daikatana... How fast does that go? Yeah, it's too slow. I don't think my guy would use this. We're definitely gonna be using Elven Longsword, though. I would like it if I could use leather gloves, but unfortunately I don't know if there are even gloves in the game that you can use when you can't access armor. Which I wish there were clothing gloves, but that's okay. I suppose, yeah, maybe a better way of doing this class would be allowing light armor, since it is kind of a rogue type. But this is supposed to be about gallantry and being a real, like, duelist, not about having actually taking damage, you know. So build about avoiding damage. Yeah, it'll be a lot easier once I can get out of here and make some spells. Again, I do wish there was a way to make spells outside of the Mages Guild. I kind of like how that was handled in Morrowind. Here we are. Quick save. Whew. Nice. Potion recipe, slow falling. Okay. The Knight's Martial Techniques. Okay, that's a skill book. Interesting. I'll probably just sell that, to be honest, because, yeah, skill books are a little annoying. I will... Can I... Where are the enemies? Dodging isn't ready. Need to get some dodging going. I think if you select Illusion as a major, that should actually give you like a Chameleon or a Shadow spell at the start. Good. Illusion now. Oh shit, critical strike ain't ready. Okay, we'll go ahead and shoot somebody then. Could get backstabbing, but yeah, we won't worry too much about that yet because, yeah, you do need to either have lots of speed and be fighting in combat and using that style. Or you need stealth to back it up. Good. I want to max out dodging right away. Or as soon as possible. I think that should mean that I basically dodge every hit. Once you get to dodging 100, that's the point of not selecting armor. It's like you're unarmored. But yeah, I don't have rapid healing either, so we will have to rely on healing spells once we can get them. Nope, follow me. Nope. Holy shit. Got him. Lantern. We'll just take his oil. Everything for sale? And we'll take those arrows, sir. Good sir. Alright, let me use my long blade so I can actually hit. Yep. Just cut his throat. That would be cool. I suppose you could use messages for your eyes, the sphincter vision mod for that, but having Fallout-esque descriptions of kills, that'd be kind of cool. I would hope that everyone has seen that amazing Fallout Bakersfield trailer. Yeah, I can't stand fucking crouch walking, so... But yeah, in that, they have the descriptions and stuff of what's happening. I feel like the torch ambient light has gone down for some reason. I don't know why. Ooh. Nice, nice. Steel spear. That does have better condition. Now we'll stick with Elven. I think I'll go ahead and pack... Well, no. That's where I'll rest next time. Running is ready. We'll go ahead and use illusion. Need to level up. Whoop. There we go. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Hand to hand. Okay. Oh, I do need more dodging. Okay. Yeah, I have a bit of a habit of leveling like this. I think, yeah, when you get hits, like I think that your clothing actually does get damaged if you don't have armor. So we will need like sewing kits or whatever. Let me run and get my camping. Because you can, I think I have one more usage out of that. Good. Just one off, brother. Pack it up. I think, yeah, whenever you camp in a dungeon, when you try and use other campfires in the dungeon to do your stuff, that breaks the feature for other campfires. Oh, I need magic right away, but I'm gonna try and... Hey, man. Okay. Yeah, I might as well just rest a little bit anyway. Critical strike. That just goes up whenever you hit things. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's chest. Alright, I'm not really... Wait, what happened to that skeleton earlier? Yeah, he just decided to fucking... walk backwards. That's a classic. I don't know if you can pickpocket enemies in this. You could in the original, but I think they changed that in Unity. I should be doing that regularly, actually, but... Regularly scheduled programming. Okay. Oh, hey. Hey, friend. Why are you here, bro? Archer. Yeah, I could have gotten a backstab or two on them, but that's okay. Level 4. Yeah, my hand-to-hand is already quite far ahead of those, so won't worry too much about lockpicking, leveling. I can see why, you know, those chests are so hard to open, because they do give you a ton of loot when you actually open them.